Good morning, children. Today we are going to begin with a new story from Vistas Should Wizard Hit Mommy by John Updike. John Updike children was born in Pennsylvania, USA in 1932. Updike is still called a versatile writer and he is well known for almost all the kinds of works of his writing, like novels, poetry, and short stories. He is also considered to be a great literary critic of renown, and he has over 50 literary books of variety of genres to his credit, including an autobiographical piece, The Dogwood Tree, A Boyhood. He is internationally known still for his novels that deal with the life of Harry Rabbit Angstrom, a star athlete. John Updike's childhood was clouded by psoriasis, that is a skin disease that creates patches and stammering, and he was an object of ridicule of his classmates. But his mother was a great source of encouragement for him, and he owes his literary achievements to the moral support he received from her. Children, the story Should Wizard Hit Mommy is a story within a story, means story in a story, where the father has been narrating the child the same story of a creature named Roger over and over again for the past 2 years with a small variation here and there. The oft repeated story arouses no curiosity, and the child knows what is going to ensure next. Yet she listens to it with interest and is excited about what is going to come next. In spite of the repetitive monotony of the story, the child applies her mind wholeheartedly and points out even a small lapse of the father's part instantaneously. In the middle of the story, she raises a difficult moral question for which the father does not have any convincing answer. Children, by a simple story of father narrating a story to his daughter, Updike brings home the idea that children have their own identity, views, and attitudes. It is wrong on the part of adults to thrust their will on them. Once a child is able to express himself or herself, one shouldn't brush aside his queries, suggestions, and opinions. If the adult finds the child's approach to be full of uh, errors, one should appeal to his reasoning rather than to force him to see the adult's viewpoint by using threat and coercive methods. Coercive is imposing methods. The author has yet another message to convey that we should honor, value, and accept all creatures, high or low, gleefully, happily, the way skunk was eventually accepted by the woodland creatures despite its foul smell. The story deals with child innocence and adult complexes as represented by Jo, a 4-year-old girl, and her father Jack, respectively. Like most Jo is fond of listening to bedtime stories. Since Jack has to tell a story every evening and Saturday night, he runs out of themes, plots, and characters. Therefore, what does he do is that he resorts to narrating the same story with a slight variation, with a little change in the character names and plot every time. In essence, however, the story remains the same. Often, the characters he invents and the plots he creates subconsciously deal with his childhood experiences, failures, and complexes. For example, Roger Skunks remind him of the ridicule and humiliation he had to face in his own childhood. Jo, on the other hand, dwells on her own world of childhood fantasy, the world of fairies, wizards, birds, and animals who live and talk like human beings and who come alive in her imagination. She's very fond of listening to stories and insists on one from her father every day. She gets so involved in the narrative that she corrects her father whenever he makes a chance or deliberate mistake. Sometimes she wants characters, incidents, and plots changed according to her wishes. And the other theme that is running parallel to this theme is that mothers are always right, which directly relate to Jack's own experiences with his mother. However, Joe fails to understand why Skunk's mother should speak the wizard and wants the wizard to hit Skunk's mother in return. Because the reason is only this, that children, she is very small in age to understand. She is too young to realize that we should accept ourselves as nature has made us, and what is natural is not disgraceful. Yet another theme is the distancing between the couple because they are much too busy in their work, household chores, and parenting. So, on the whole, this story is a very moving and emotional story with an open end. That is for the readers to decide what can be done or what should be done. Now let's begin the story, children. According to my book, it is on page number 48 of Vistas. Before you read, here is a story about the worldview of a little child and the difficult moral questions she raises during the story session with her father. So, worldview of a little child means what, according to a child, is the world. What does she think about the world? In the evenings and for Saturday naps like today's, Jack told his daughter Jo a story out of his head. John Updike Children is an American, and thus the story also has an American background. And now in America, you have 5 days week, and Saturdays and Sundays are being holidays. Thus, the father takes upon himself the duty of making his 4-year-old daughter have a nap on Saturdays and go to bed at night on the other days by narrating a story. Now every Saturday he has to narrate the story. So as we were discussing the message and the theme, there I pointed out that it becomes very difficult for Jack to create a new story every time. So what does he do is that whatever instantly comes to his mind, he narrates that in the form of the story. Each new story was a slight variation of a basic tale. A small creature, usually named Roger, it could be Roger Fish, it could be Roger Squirrel, it could be Roger Chipmunk. If the girl said that she wanted to hear about fish, then it would become Roger Fish. Had some problem and went with it to the wise old owl. The owl told him to go to the wizard, and the wizard performed a magic spell that solved the problem, demanding in payment a number of pennies greater than the number that Roger creature had, but in the same breath directing the animal to a large place, to a place where the extra pennies could be found. Then Roger was so happy he played many games with other creatures and went home to his mother just in time to hear the train whistle that brought his daddy home from Boston. Jack described their supper and the story was over. Working his way through the scheme was especially fatiguing on the Saturday because Joe never fell asleep in the naps anymore, and knowing this made the ride seem futile. So, as I said, children, the intention of Jack was to make the daughter asleep, but now, as she was a grown up girl, now she never wanted to go to sleep even after listening to the stories, and she did not at all want to sleep during the afternoons. And as I said, that the couple was busy doing the work of Saturday, Sunday, the weekend, and in that case, it became very difficult for them to manage. So he had taken the duty upon him, but he was not able to do so because the girl who was a little grown up now, she used to do discussions with her father on the different results or end of the stories. and each story was the narration of the basic tale. A little variation, little change was there according to the name of the animal, according to the characteristic features of the animal. So there was always the character Roger in story of Jack, who had some or the other problem, who went with it the problem to the owl, and owl told him to go to the wizard. Wizard performed a magic spell, but asked always the number of pennies that Roger did not have. But at the same time, he directed him to go to the well and take out the pennies from there. So Roger went there and took the penny from the well, and uh, he was very happy and he played games with his friends. And then his father came from Boston by train, and the family had the supper, and the story was over. The little girl, not so little anymore, the bumps her feet made under the covers were halfway down the head. Their big double bed that they let her in for the naps and when she was sick had at last arranged herself, and from the way her fat face deep in the pillow shone on in the sunlight sifting through the drawn shades, it did not seem fantastic that some magic would occur and she would take her nap like an infant of two. Her brother Bobby was too, and already asleep with his bottle. Jack asked, "Who shall the story be about today?" So, as Jack was interested to make his daughter asleep, he started to narrate the story, and the girl was not interested to sleep, and therefore she was kicking the bed cover and throwing the bed cover down, and she was made to lie down on the double bed. From the blinds of the curtain, the sun rays that were of the afternoon and the evening that were approaching on her face, and then the father asked his daughter that about whom she is going to listen to the story that day. Joe squeezed her eyes shut and smiled to thinking. She was thinking. Her eyes opened. Her mother's blue means the color of her eyes resembled to her mother. Skunk, she said firmly. Skunk is an animal, children, that lives in a marshy place and is a very ugly creature and has foul smell, bad smell. Nobody likes that animal. And she has been told, it seems, in the school about the skunk, and so she has decided that her father should narrate to her the story about a skunk. So, till here we are going to do today.